This freaking this freaking system is just as bad as gotten as bad as Susan. This Streamlabs. Every once in a while, it just randomly turns off my microphone. As you guys know, I use this software pretty much every day. Never make any changes to it. I have everything preset depending on what we're doing, whether we're gaming or chatting or whatever. And yet it just randomly turns off my mic every so often. Yeah. I know, guys. Again, as soon as you say I can't hear you, I know what happened. Streamlabs turned off the mic. It turns the mic setting to none. Just again, randomly. Yeah, we got it now, Samuel. But again, that's likely to happen in the future again, because I don't think to look down at the monitor I have here that monitors the outgoing sound. And again, why I couldn't tell you, but Streamlabs just decides to turn it off every once in a while. Let's see. Streamlabs more like meth labs, Andrew says. The only time they really strike me as a meth lab is when we try and do our video clip streams. Although the last, I was gonna say the last couple we did, we got through without too many issues. But now that I remember back, there were a few. But yeah, that's when they really meth out a little bit. Yeah, that Big Green says the same thing. We've had quite a few Streamlabs problems. I don't know why they can't get that software. What do they call it? I've got it right here. That Media Share software plugin. That's what I use to do the clip streams. I don't know why they can't get that operating properly. It always has issues. Joel says just binge watching some shows from my childhood. Currently watching Danny Phantom was pretty good. Brax and I used to watch that one. Danny Phantom was good. It wasn't like on my top tier list, but I enjoyed it. Chustard says meth labs reminds me of home. Yeah, those familiar memories. Rose says, guess who lost her virginity? Nice. Rose has been having a good time since we last streamed. Way to go. Excuse me. Josh says Senzubin. Senzubin hits Curtis in the cheek, and Curtis gives a what the fuck look. Yes. And you got YouTube glitching out on you? Inserted name here. It's showing up okay on my. Like I say, I keep a monitor of the outgoing stream as well. On mine, it's showing up okay so far. Big Green, I remember the times in the meth lab back in the day. I gotta ask you guys something else too. I might even have to. I wanted to play some GTA 5 again. And if I did it, I figured I would stream it just because typically everybody likes watching along with that. Last time we played it, I stopped because we were having a terrible issue with the game lagging. So I tried to play it the other day just to, take another look at it and get it running right. I cannot make that game stop lagging. I have tried everything. I've gone all over the internet trying everything they advise. I mean, the system I have is plenty fast enough to run it, and the system I currently have used to run it for us all the time. And I can't figure out what's doing it. I put the settings down all the way to potato on that goddamn thing, and I still can't get it to stop lagging. Zeno says, hi, I have started rewatching A Kami Got Kill and forgot how hilarious it was. How have you been, you creepy old baldy man weed reactor? I'm doing good, pal. A Kami Got Kill, yeah, again, that's another title gets talked about a lot. You would think at some point that one's got to make it through at the Goosh, again, just because of how often it gets discussed. When we finish or catch up on One Piece, which now is not that far away at all, that's going to open up another level too for us to be putting in more anime, and certainly whatever replaces One Piece is not going to be as long as One Piece. So so there'll be more. We'll be getting through more and more anime as we go. Let's see. Lude says, and I'm getting kicked out of the stream again by an error like last time. Thanks for your love, Susan, you piece of shit. What the hell is going on with that now? I have noticed, though, even today, when I'm working around on the YouTube channel, like I'll go to reset. Everything I do is out of my videos page. That's my go-to spot to get started with anything I do for the channel. And even today, it's still doing that little trick where it likes to take forever to load every so often. So they're still having issues from 2 days ago. Trevor says, I think Susan has hacked both Curtis and Lude. Yeah. I don't even get stuff like that. Like Lude was getting kicked the entire time last stream. I think BG had problems with it too. Josh says, hey Curtis, here's a dark joke. So some guys are pissing a guy off. Well, he's supposed to write letters and burn them. Well, he burned them. Now what does he do with the letters? Let's see. I love South Park Tiger One. Of the current shows, it's probably Family Guy first and South Park right behind it. Yeah, love South Park. Krusty Bomb says, fun fact, moose only have 2 predators, bears and orcas. The fuck is the moose doing swimming in the ocean? Or what the hell is the orca doing in the woods? Reality Check says, what do you use on your goatee? What do I use on mine? Old age, that's it. Nothing at all. Just I use old age to give it this white look. It used to be a dark red. Trevor says, what do you call a high Irishman? A baked potato. I watch Bob's Burgers here and there, Brian. It's not one of the shows I watch regularly, but I know the characters. I've watched a bunch of episodes. I think it's funny. I think the voice acting in that show is some of the best. Samuel says, speaking of anime, I just got finished with Devil's Line last night. Now I'm on one called Corpse Princess. So far I'm interested. I don't think I've heard of either one of those, Samuel. Corpse Princess, yeah, you're right. That if nothing else, that's definitely got a title that piques your interest. Ha! Hey, good to see you, BTG. He says, quiver in fear, I am here. Did you hear of Kanya? No. Is that a series, BTG? Lude says, oh yeah, moose are menaces to society and they're surprisingly good swimmers. Well, if those big goofy bastards are dumb enough to swim in the ocean, then they deserve to get eaten by an orca. Get your ass back on land. I don't care how strong a swimmer you are. Excuse me, guys. I gotta tickle my nose. Curtis is our corpse princess, Mistra says. I'm comfortable with that. I'm good with that. I didn't know that. Are you serious, Krusty? I didn't know this. Moose dive underwater for food when times are tough. They can swim for quite a while, and yes, they are faster than humans in the water as well. I had no idea. I would have never guessed that. Really? That's kind of interesting. Link says, well, at least some of us are getting laid. Yeah, at least Rosa is. Meanwhile, here I am with 0 cocks in my ass. Need to get back in the dating game. Andrew says, look for updates for your GPU driver. Did that too, pal. Could be the reason for lag issue in GTA 5. Yeah, tried that too. I tried everything, pal. I mean, I'm willing to listen to suggestions because maybe I did miss something. But yeah, that's one of the first things I did was update drivers. I can't figure out what the fuck it is. It was driving me insane. I had to finally walk away from it. Again, I turned the settings down, as I said, to potato. And I even went so far as I thought, okay, maybe my controller, because it's plugged in the USB, just isn't communicating well. And I'm getting lag actually from that. So I tried playing the game with the keyboard, and that didn't make a difference. Timothy says, not going to be longer than One Piece. In that case, I think we at the Goose need to vote in Saizai-san. It has 2,500 episodes. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. I knew One Piece is, I forgot what number. It's not near the longest one, the longest running anime. I don't remember that Saize-san though. Oh, what's our little friend's name there? The little inspector, Detective Conan, Jimmy. Now I know Detective Conan has One Piece beat for episodes too, but Detective Conan, while it's something we've talked about, never gets tons of support. I don't even think it's ever been. I don't think it's been mentioned in a nominations thread. So there was no real danger of that one taking over. Spazdevs. So the past 2 days, there has been protests to stop sexual abuse harassment at my former high school since the principal and staff are doing nothing about it. As someone who's gone there, the staff. Okay, I gotta hold on to get more of that. BTG says my follow-up seems to keep disappearing. A few people were having trouble with that the other day, pal. With posts not just not showing up at all. So, unfortunately, thanks, Susan. I'm not surprised. The Hitman's Bodyguard? No. I remember seeing previews for that and stuff, Tiger One, but I haven't seen it. The Houston Dynamo got a win? All right, Rosa. Yeah. My Irish have 2 wins, and both of them were nail biters against teams that truly physically they should have dominated. But I guess we'll find out how good Toledo is this week, because Notre Dame had to struggle to get past them, and this week Toledo plays a pissed off Ohio State. So if they can stay with them, if Toledo could stay with them, we could say, okay, it's understandable that the Irish had an issue with them. But if, as I expect, if what happens is what I expect, and Ohio State beats them by 60, that's a problem. Susan is the final form of Karen. Yeah, Fluffy. Fully developed. Yeah, Link says masturbation is murder, because when I do it, I beat the life out of my dick. I knew when I said Jimmy that'd get Big Green. He says Detective Conan, not Jimmy, has too many episodes. That's probably why rarely anybody's suggesting it. I think that's the case too, BG. Yeah. I think people are just reticent to get involved in something that insanely long. You know what I think will do well once One Piece is over? Now, this is just a guess on my part, is Gintama. Hey, I didn't check today. I completely forgot. Trevor says the Irish will probably lose to Cincy and USC if they get their coaching together. Cincy, there's a real good chance. Cincy's a pretty good team. USC, I had said, was the team I was most concerned about coming into the season, even more so than Cincinnati. But that abysmal showing against Stanford, coupled with being without a head coach, gives me a little more hope that it's tough. It's tough for a team to stay cohesive under those circumstances. It really is. Here's to being a little over 2 months sober. Hey, good for you, Wolverine. Good for you, pal. Let me see. I'm just trying to remember what I was just gonna look something else up for you guys, and I forgot what it was. Oh, I wanted to see our right now we're picking a new series over at the Patreon, at the Goosh. And I forgot, hold on just a second, guys. I want to look. I forgot to double check today. I can't imagine the numbers have moved much. Poll should be is it today I had the poll ending? Or is it tomorrow? Let's take a look and see. New series poll. Oh, it did end. Okay. It did end yesterday. Okay, so we're all set. All right, so it did end up being Dragon Ball with the win, and Kaguya-sama Love is War as the only real contender right behind it. Okay, so I will, just so you Gooshers know, I will be posting details on exactly what we'll be doing going forward with this. I completely forgot to do it yesterday, obviously. Cool. The OG Dragon Ball. Nice. Anbu says, sup, Kurt Slice. How are you, Bald Sensei? Doing good, pal. Doing good. It's a free-for-all Friday. Can't be doing anything but good. Mr. Croissant says, just a daily reminder that I'd raw dog Big Mom all day, every day. Wedding cakey indeed. That's gotten to be actually, well, the last few episodes I watched haven't focused on Big Mom as much, but it actually got to be funny, kind of entertaining after long enough of wedding cakey. Recount rigged by Russians. Check previous post. Okay, BTG. Where's BTG's previous post? Ah, okay, pretty sure it's just YouTube censorship. Here we go. Yeah, Kanye. Kanye fit these tree seeds commonly referred to as nuts in your main facial orifice, commonly called a mouth. Kanye fit these nuts into your mouth. Gotcha. Jeez. And that Susan had an issue. Oh, fuck. I will never, ever, nothing will ever make me understand why YouTube even bothers to give us the option of whether or not we want to censor comments, since they're going to do it anyway. Joshua says, did you finish Brandon Rogers playing the Hero series? I have not. If not, would you? I don't know. I don't know if I'll get to that in the future or not, to be honest with you. I will definitely be watching more Brandon at some point, where I'm not doing as many reaction videos as I used to, so it's kind of getting stuff spaced out. Plus, I've been really enjoying these Family Guy things, so I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. Bylove says, I keep watching The Jungle Book, Mowgli's story on Disney, over and over. I love that movie. I haven't seen that in anything Jungle Book in years, Bylove. It was a good series, or a good movie, the original. Mr. Croissant says, Curtis, I didn't expect you to promote violence against a child. Went from give the brat a spanking to kill her. Yeah, she pissed me off. Typically, yeah, you don't hear me. You don't hear me clamoring for that type of violence against the kid, but I think she's deserving. Willie says, almost done with work for today. Nice. Get the hell out of there on a Friday. Good for you, pal. Tommy Elliott says, I don't know if you're aware, but Lewis talk. Are you serious? Oh. This says, where but Lewis Newcastle has passed away. No, Lewis was a fan of the channel and recommended it to me. Oh, I'm sick. For those who don't know, Tall Lewis Newcastle is somebody who came to the channel early on. He'd been with us for years and years and years. Channel started in May of 2011. I think Lewis was with us by the end of that year. Oh, he's from the UK, and he as a teenager was a very, very good soccer player, elite soccer player, and he actually got hit by a bus. And I don't know if his passing had anything to do with that or not, but obviously you get hit by a bus. He had a lot of concerns that arose from that. And I remember for a time he was having to fly back and forth to the States to get some of the surgeries done. Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. He was always just such a good kid. So upbeat. You know, even when he was going through the whole... Because I still remember when he told me he got hit by a bus. Of course, we all know the nature of things at the channel here. I thought he was making a joke. Oh, jeez, that makes me sick to my stomach. I'm so sorry to hear that. Good dude, really good dude. Again, at least in my interactions with him, he was able to maintain such a bright outlook despite what he was going through. Oh, that's truly sad. Well, I hope you are resting well, Lewis. Mr. Popo says all these squares make a circle. That will never be old. Never be old. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. Yeah. Thank you guys all for the comments on Lewis, and I'm stunned. He was, like I say, he was one of the originals. Lewis had been with us for, outside of Steve, who you guys will see in here every so often. he was, because Lewis had just been in again. We hadn't seen him for some time, but he had just popped into some live streams and in the comments of some of the videos just recently again. Oof. Morgan says I have a meeting in a few, but hello. Hi, Morgan. I'm glad you popped in while you could. Oh, gone. Solara says, while I don't know Lewis personally, he seems like strong with a lad. R.I.P. He was a really good lad. I am so sorry to hear that. He just always was fun. Again, he came to the channel in the early days when it was all about Call of Duty and random gaming and stuff like that. And him and Spaz Kid used to go back and forth all the time. And oh shit. Yeah, that I just found out, Morgan. It was just passed along to me that he had passed on. That's a shame. I don't know. Again, he never, again, even after the bus accident and everything, never did a lot of complaining. So I don't know. It's not my place to pry, and he didn't offer a lot as to what the permanent situation was from the bus accident. So I don't know if that was anything of a factor or not, but really good dude. Really good dude. Tommy says, yeah, after the bus, and Tommy's the one who brought us the news. He knows Lewis. Yeah, after the bus incident, I really think it just messed him up. Losing his football career just really impacted him. Had to. I was with him the day he sent you a parcel to a P.O. box. That is so sad. Like I say, I just I couldn't have any better things to say about him. Just always fun, and again, and that's the big thing too. And Scott, just like Tommy pointed out, he was like an elite level soccer / football player, and so to have that taken away from you as a young man just had to be devastating. Excuse me. Oh boy. Mr. Croissant says, I'm working at McDonald's at the moment, but I got an interview at the movie theater today. Oh, good for you. Hope I get a job. I hope you do too. One of the managers is sexist, and she even tried to hit on my friend who's 16. Yikes. That goes beyond sexist, Mr. Croissant. That goes into the territory of call the cops. Jesus. Morgan says, I vote that we dedicate this FFAF sticky stuff to our good friend Lewis. Absolutely. Indeed. I try not to, only because, again, I get to know a lot of you guys. I consider many of you guys, friends. And you guys know how horrible my memory is. But now, just off the top of my head, I remember all the details of the conversations I had with Lewis. Hey, Morgan is Stream Boss. As I do with many of you, because you guys are important to me. So yeah, I will say this, knowing Lewis and his positive outlook, I don't want to dwell on it too long, because I've always told you guys in dealing with death, that's my take on it, is I always try and look at it from the perspective of the person who's passed, and what would they feel honored their memory the most. And to me, I mean, what I knew of Lewis was, I honestly believe he would feel the most honored by is if we had just a regular bang 'em up, stupid, act like idiots, free for all Friday. Again, that's what drew Lewis here. He told me himself was the stupidity that went on. I mean, he joined back in the day when I was trolling on Call of Duty and doing the Mickey Mouse voice whenever when you would get gassed in Call of Duty, I would be playing in the Mickey Mouse voice, and Mickey would like it. He would go run around looking for people to gas him, and he'd be running around going, I am so fucking high right now. And that was the type of stuff. Lewis was one of us. finds that type of stuff funny. Oh, Dragon, that's awful. What do what do sharks and humans have in common? All the great ones are white. What the hell? Jesus. Anbu says, we lost one of us. We did indeed. That's tough, Lewis, but we all know that one of us wouldn't want to be down and sad. Live on, Lewis. R.I.P. 100% right, Anbu. 100% right. I have no doubt about that. In what I have gained from Lewis as a friend. But yeah, definitely this stream is dedicated to the memory of our pal Tall Lewis. Willie says, I believe I'm the only remaining virgin here. Well, big problem with that, Willie, is oh, geez, that scared me when it switched. The problem with that, Willie, is suppose we need a sacrifice. I mean, I watch old movies. When you have to sacrifice somebody, it's always got to be the virgin. So I'm just saying, there's no call for it right at the moment. But should we need to throw somebody in a volcano? BTG says, we build a pyramid big enough to bring night. Tsunami says, Curtis, what do you think of the rookie quarterbacks week 1? Mac Jones looked the best. Agreed. All the doubters know nothing about football. No, Mac Jones, not that I'm happy about this because I'm not a Patriots fan, but Mac Jones has definitely looked the best of all of them right from spring camp through to the first couple weeks of the season. No question about it. Mac Jones has looked incredible, first week of the season. Mac Jones has looked incredibly sharp. Yeah, I mean, I'll grant you, he's in a really good system. You can't get a better situation than Belichick and the Patriots. It'll be interesting to see. I personally believe the Bears aren't using Justin Fields properly. Once Justin Fields, they get him into a good situation, it'll be interesting to see. I'm still leaning towards him. Trevor Lawrence is an obvious one, but he's in such a bad spot down there. The team is in just such total disarray that it's hard to really get a handle on him. But of the two, I think Fields will potentially prove to be the even better quarterback, but Mac Jones is going to be really good. Better, and I readily admit, way better than I thought. I think coming out of college, I thought he was going to be average in the NFL. Dragon says, what do preachers and McDonald's have in common? I've heard this. They both like to slide their meat between 10-year-old ones. I've heard that one. It's so terrible. Simping Stan says, how did you like Luffy Kata fight? The conclusion with Luffy saying he will return to WCI and puts the hat on Kata's mouth was done so well. It's amazing, Simping Stan. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to do it until it airs at the Goosh, but I think I was just so satisfied by the end of that fight, and not just because of Luffy winning the fight, but I mean just because that fight was so freaking well done, amazingly well done, and the way they did end it was perfect. So my plan is, once it's been posted, once we catch up, it'll be tomorrow or the next day, or tomorrow or Monday, I'll have to look. Once it's posted to the Goosh, I am going to excerpt my reaction to the end of that fight, and I'll probably post it at YouTube too, because I just wanted to share that with everybody. God damn, that fight was absolutely amazing. Amazing. Wolverine says, check last 2 posts. Okay, there's one. Okay. Now the topic has been brought up, I am in the process of paying for a cemetery plot. I'm also updating my will. That's never a bad thing, because one thing we know about life is it's uncertain. I'm only 28, but these types of things are best done as early as possible. No one knows when they'll pass on. 100% right. I mean, look at our pal Lewis. I'm trying to remember. I think when Lewis... when I first met Lewis, I believe he was 15, might have been 16. I think 15. So Lewis was definitely no more than mid-20s, and he's gone from us. Xander says, "Hey Curtis, did you know that a guy got arrested for stalking Jake Paul's house? He said he wanted a rematch to a fight." Really? No, I didn't hear about that. There's a lot of freaking weirdos. Way too many weirdos out there. Oh, Spazdev, so these past... Oh, okay, I saw that. Have been a protest stop sexual abuse harassment since staff and principal aren't doing a single thing about it. Dragon says, "What do you call a gay dinosaur?" A stick ass saurius. Mr. Croissant says, "I'm really glad I found this community, to be honest. I'm glad you did too, my friend. I love this community. A chill group of people who can take jokes, respect opinions, and we all relate to a bald man in New York through anime manga. Best accident on YouTube." I said it a million times, but my main goal from the time of starting the YouTube channel was I wanted to build a fun community, and I'm so proud of that fact, and I enjoy it so much, both here and the Goosh. Simping Stan says, "You think that fight was good? Just wait until we soon get to Wano and deal with my big boy Kaido." Oh, fucking Kaido. He, just a little bit I've seen him so far, he's terrifying. He's an amazing villain, and you are going to love him. Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, the whole not being able to kill himself alone, it's like concerning. When you know you're going to have to take out somebody who is so badass he can't kill himself. Tommy says, "Do you have a Twitter email? If they're more than happy to explain more. Sorry to bring the bad news." Yeah, my Twitter, it's at the Spaz Gamer. The link is in all the video descriptions. Just tag me in a post there, Tommy. Tag me in a tweet. I'm sorry, and I will follow you so you can private message me. Timothy says, "Another thing I'm seeing is saying Seize-san episode count is 7,000 plus, and another says 9,000 plus. It currently has highest number of episodes in the anime." Yeah, somebody had said it had the most. That's insane. How many fucking years has that been going on? Well, because it's the longest, you guys probably had mentioned it to me before at some point, but I don't even remember that name. Hey, Madman, good to see you, pal. I hate PC culture nowadays. I can't even say black paint. Instead, I have to say, "Tyrone, can you please paint my fence?" I'll say, "You miss me?" I did. Indeed, I did. As a matter of fact, many of you may not realize this, but Madman, and wasn't it you and Edward, I believe, were the two that got the idea of joke streams started. Because Madman and, I'm sorry, I said Edward, I meant Edgar. Madman and Edgar V would come in telling so many jokes. It's like, okay, I got to devote some streams to this. So yes, Madman has put his stamp onto onto this channel as well. Oh, my friend, I want so bad to be able. I always call somebody something related to their screen name. Okay, the first letter I get, so I'll say H. Hey H, when can we expect 6th episode of Hell of a Boss Reaction? 6 is the one we already watched, isn't it? Am I getting my numbers wrong? Hold on. They got me confused, pal. Oh, stop. Yeah, we already saw that one. Let me go back. I can give you the link. Let me look at my video. That would have been the smart thing. Look at my videos. Hold on. I can find it for you. Hell of a Boss 6. Yes, I knew it was there. Okay. And I thought I had my numbers mixed up for a second. This is the link to it right here. And good news as well, because you guys know that I won't react to videos till they've been out for a few days because of the glitch I had seen a couple of years ago in YouTube's algorithm, where they were sometimes putting reaction videos ahead of the original videos when you search the original video's title. I don't think I really have to worry about that anymore, because again, I monitor these things, and YouTube seems to, it was some time ago, seems to fix the algorithm. I haven't seen that happen in ages. I was still sticking to it because I was afraid, that YouTube would fall back into it, but it certainly looks like they've gotten it fixed. So we should be able to watch them as they come out now. And plus the fact that I make sure that in my title I put the words reaction video capitalized first, and that pretty much seems to have secured that I will only show up high if it's somebody searches for the title and the word reaction. Excuse me. Spazdev continues, says, the staff at my former high school has been terrible. There's been sexual abuse going on for years, and they have done zero stuff about it. It was not a safe school at all and was truly horrible. That's awful. Jesus Christ, that's terrible. Okay, Tommy. Yeah. Like I said, whenever you do, just drop me a tweet. If you don't have the same name there, just let me know it's you. Just tag me in it, and then, like I say, I'll follow you, and you can send me a DM. We'll be able to DM each other. Madmint says, dude, I was going back to community college when I first came to this channel. Now I'm on my second year of university. That's madness. Also, Bofa. Oh, Madmint. It's so fun. I mean, things like this, well, of course, Tall Lewis news made me really start reminiscing about the channel. But it is amazing to me. I tell you guys, all of you guys who are regulars and all the people here that I have developed a friendship with, a relationship with, it's funny because I don't envision you as only screen names. I mean, there are personalities behind those names. And for one thing, I've always been pretty good, and it's not by accident. It's by study and design. I've always been pretty good at, like in real life, determining how I'm going to feel about someone within the first moments of meeting them. Now, nobody's 100%, but I have a good batting average of figuring people out. I've got an even better batting average online of figuring out people and their motivations, so on and so forth, through the written word online. So because of that, it would be awesome someday to be able to have some sort of a meetup, because it's not necessarily what you guys look like, but I have such a specific design in my mind for each of you as to the type of people you are, which obviously, if I consider you friends, it's people that I certainly would enjoy spending time with. Spazdev says, I'm glad it's finally coming to attention so the school can be exposed for how truly horrible it is. Absolutely. School is full of pedos and psychopaths, so it should be coming to yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If there's any type of abuse like that going on, it should not only be coming to attention, some shitbag should be spending time in prison getting raped. Wow. Anbu says, been here since I was 18. I'm 24. Awesome journey. Stunning to me. Yeah. How time just flies, because I remember when I first started seeing you around, Anbu. It just doesn't seem that long. Well, I mean, look at the old videos when we post them, and Spaz Kid with his little squeaker voice and stuff. Now he's a senior in college. Jesus Christ. Mr. Croissant says, who do you think was more terrifying upon introduction, Kaido or Big Mom? I personally think Big Mom was his most terrifying of the two. Really, Mr. Croissant? I think now, of course, I don't know much about Kaido yet, so I'm going to withhold reservation, but on first introduction, for me, Kaido was even scary. Not that Big Mom wasn't intimidating. Just Kaido was just like next level to me. Now, who do I find more intimidating when it's all said and done may be different. But first impression, yeah, Kaido was super scary. Oh, okay. Lude says, so I think I figured out the error issue. He keeps getting bounced out of our streams. It seems to happen sometimes when I tab out of the stream to go to another window. No idea why, but it seems I am stuck staring at your shiny head. Ah, now Susan's finally doing something the right way, making people unable to leave. One of us, whether you like it or not. I've heard that joke, Krusty, and I love it. I forgot about that one. Love that joke. How, how many emo kids does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. They all sit in the dark and cry. That reminds me. You know the joke had to be good because it stayed with me all this time. I am not even a Harry Potter fan, but one of you guys told me this joke and it stuck with me because I don't know, it just struck me as so hilarious. The joke was, what's the most unbelievable thing about the Harry Potter series? That a ginger kid could have 3 friends. That's just terrible. About 2017 when you joined Mad Mint? Yeah, it wasn't too... Jeez. Again, time goes by so fast. What would that have been, Mad Mint? Maybe like 2018? I'm going to say 2018, maybe 2019, when you and Edgar inspired the start of the joke streams. Had to be that. Yeah, had to be that long ago now. Oink says, okay, now I'm really curious. What kind of person do you think I am? Well, now, don't get me wrong. When I say kind of person, I don't mean that I've got you evaluated down to your absolute core. I think, Oink, just from the way that you come across to me here, I think you're fun. I think you're a little bit on the wild side. I think you're the type, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think you're the type that okay, let's put it this way. Probably in school, the times that you got in trouble, it was similar to me because you said something that you knew was going to get you in trouble, but it was funny enough that you just fucking said it anyway. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Callum says, hi Curtis, what did I miss? I was busy doing acting? Oh, that's cool, Callum. Acting is very near and dear to me. Very cool. Johnny says, I remember watching your first COD video on Black Ops. Fuck, I'm old. Yeah, Johnny, that's going way back. Remember those early ones? The one that always stuck with me because it was so sad. I did a video that was a compilation of all my kills through my most 5 recent rounds of, I think it was, what was it? Hardcore. I think it was through 5 most recent rounds of hardcore on COD, and that was a total of 1 kill. And that was a lucky one. I still remember somebody was shooting at me and there was a lot of dust kicked up and everything, so I just shot in the dust and got him. Let's see. Oh, okay. Madman says 2017 because I remember showing my ex at the time how I made you laugh with my fed up jokes on stream. Also, you seen my face in my video once? That I did forget, Madman. If I think long enough, I'll probably remember that. There's always going to, well, you guys know my memory. There's always going to be some things that escape me. I'd have to look back to see if I could dig that up somewhere. I would love to do a meetup Wolf Hall. We've talked about it. It's just that we don't have a huge community here. And it's so difficult to find some place that logistically would work for a big number of people. Because trust me, I would love to do that. If it weren't for the fact that it would be just so hard for everybody to be able to do it, I definitely would. Since 2014, SpazDev? It's amazing. Oh, jeez. 7 years already. Wow. Oh, shit. Rosa says, in the time since we met, I graduated. I've got my B, got my first job, got my A. She's talking about CDL license. Got a promotion, and now I'm preparing to move out after New Year. Rose, I'm so glad to see you doing so well. You really have. You especially with how quickly and efficiently you were able to get those licenses and everything. Andrew says, I come off as a funny guy. Dragon says, watch the chat. I hate Susan. I will, Dragon. And this is what I was talking about. I was making reference to the other day with the censorship. Was Dragon was just trying to post a simple joke and couldn't get it through Susan's censors. And again, why? Listen, it's the community that I run through my channel. If I'm saying I'm not concerned about what's said, why does YouTube give a fuck? Why do you care? And as far as, oh, it might offend someone else, well, they can leave. And I don't say that to be mean. It's just a fact. I mean, if somebody comes in, I'm sure we have people leave all the time. If somebody comes in here and doesn't like the fact that our humor is over the top, it's edgy or whatever, or it's mean-spirited, some would say, leave. We can't physically hurt anybody here, so leave the fucking chat alone. Who cares what's said? Oh, it might hurt somebody's feelings. So what? So leave. Jesus. Don't get me worked up. I've only got, what have I got? Holy shit. I only got 5 days till I'm 60. Don't get me all riled up, you guys. Dragon says, what's the difference between a feminist and a suicide bomber? A suicide bomber actually does something when triggered. Excuse me, guys. Oh, this is just a garbage call, but... GS Village. Okay, we got to listen to this. Hello?
Warranty. We sent you several notices in the mail that you have yet to extend your warranty past the factory cutoff. And this is a courtesy call to renew your warranty before we close the file. If you're interested in renewing your auto warranty now, please press 5 now, or press 9 to be removed from our list.
We need to do this. We need to do it.
Hi, this is Claire from Village Services. Can you please state the year, make, and model of your vehicle?
Well, I have 2 cars. I'm not sure which one you were calling about, but I didn't realize the warranty was expired on it. It might be my 2017 Cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be it?
How many miles do you have in it?
I'm sorry, I'm rather old. I didn't catch that. What did you say?
How many miles do you have in a Cavalier?
On the Cavalier, oh my, Gladys drives that more than I do. I think it's about maybe 35,000. Does that sound right?
Yeah, 35,000 miles.
35,000, yes.
On the Chevy Cavalier.
On the
Sir?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. Hello?
Well, I'm pretty sure yes. Basically, sir, the basic factory warranty on that vehicle has already expired.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so could you please state your last name?
Yes, it's O'Halloran. O'*Hallorhan. O'Halloran.
O''Halleran.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So can you please state your current zip code?
I'm sorry. What did you need? My current zip code?
Yes.
90210.
That's perfect. So kindly stay with me on the line.
Okay.
And I will transfer you to a warranty specialist.
Oh, good.
To provide you the accurate information on what your protection covers and costs. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, 1 moment please. Okay, no worries, welcome.
The best thing you can do is keep them on the line because it costs them money.
Hello, Halleran?
Yes, O'Halloran, yes.
Halleran?
Yes.
O'Halloran. Sorry, I didn't see that right. So hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm one of the coverage specialists. I handle the service contract for the Chevrolet vehicles.
Well,
it looks like you have about...
You sound familiar. Wait, I know Tiffany. Do you, In 1963, were you stripping at the Silver Dollar?
Yes, I was. How did you know?
Oh, I thought so. We know each other. My dick wiggled just when you said your name. And it hasn't wiggled in 20 years. Fuck that car fuck that car extension. Let's talk about this.
This is Russell, right?
Yes. Yes.
I remember you.
Oh, those are the days, weren't they? Oh man, you had to. That's a long time. Been a long time ago. Has everything dried up or anything now? Oh, she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Oh well. I made a connection with Tiffany though. That's Tiffany. You believe that was her name, don't you? Hold on, I gotta catch up. Madman says, you were in an accident recently. My response is like, holy hell, you guys are quick. I just crashed. I think the guy is still alive. You want to talk to him? They hang up almost immediately every time. That's a good one. That's good. Willie says, next post, please. Big funny. Susan, no like. Okay. Let's see. Let me just see if I can find Willie's. Yeah, at least she played along. Usually they just hang up first thing. That was pretty good. Hold on. I just want to make sure I don't miss Willie's. Am I missing it? Okay, I don't think he's supposed to. Don't forget, guys, to get Willie's. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like when she went along with it, I'll give her credit for that. Fuck the car extension. Yeah. It is funny that she went along with it. Absolutely. Gabe says, why did the Columbine basketball team lose the big game? They lost two of their best shooters. Wow. Oh, that one's terrible. Oh. Oh. I think our pal Willie is having trouble getting this through the Susan sensor. Yeah, I'm watching, Willie. But like I say, if you guys see it and I miss it, let me know. But I think he's having trouble getting it through. That's very true. Pizza Man says this community has been around longer than Susan has been CEO of YouTube. Hell, we predate YouTube purchasing. Or I'm sorry, Google purchasing YouTube. You know, I'm wondering... Susan really like Willie said, yeah, Dragon went through the same thing the other day, Willie. It's just gotten completely over the top. It's just, they're so carried away with this censorship now. It's just fucking ridiculous. I wonder, because we started live streaming way before streams were even monetized or super chat or anything like that. I wonder when our first live stream was. It was shortly after they introduced it. Her name is Tiffany until it's Brittany, right, Josh? Tanker says, reposting this in case you did not see. I was very recently diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma. Oh, shit. Oh, skin cancer. Okay. Watching the videos helped me to stay positive. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tanker. I hope everything is moving well with treatments and everything, pal. I know, again, I don't know anything of your personal situation, but I know with most skin cancers now, at least from what I've read, if they catch them early enough, they have an extremely high rate of efficiency for getting rid of it. And I hope that's the case for you, pal. Much love and respect to Lewis. Yeah, Xander. It's really sad, Lewis being gone. Again, just a really good dude, and was really a lot of fun for the time he was here. Here we go. Philip says, update on the Canadian election. Trudeau looks like he's slowly coming unhinged, probably due to all the crowds cursing him. And that one time he got gravel thrown at him. He's gone from stuttering wimp to angry teenager. That's pretty good, Philip. I like that. Stuttering wimp to angry teenager. That's well put. And it's funny you say that. Did you guys see Biden having a mini meltdown about people chanting "fuck Joe Biden"? they're doing that as any campaign stops he makes. I guess a lot of football game crowds and crowds in general have been starting "fuck Joe Biden" chants, and he went off. But even when he complains about stuff, he does it like a crazy old man. He went off on a tangent on the anniversary of 9/11. He went off on a tangent about how, do you think that those people that died that day, and I'm paraphrasing, that died that day, how do you think they would feel about seeing people out here on the street saying F this person or F that person? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Why would you even try to invoke the memory of people who died on 9/11, caring about whether or not somebody's, because your little Fifi's got hurt, because somebody's saying fuck Joe Biden? Why would you even try and put those two together? I mean, oh, God, politicians are just, at least in America, just fucking garbage, just stupid. Oh, Dragon, what's the best way to get bubblegum out of your hair? Cancer. Jeez, dude. Reaper says, Curtis, you missed my super chat. LOL, damn Tiffany. I'm sorry, Reaper. I hate when I do that. Let me grab Reapers, and then I'll come right back down. Okay, so I forgot to go back up and check after Tiffany interrupted us. Okay, so it's got to be right up here somewhere. Hold on, Reaper. There he is. Okay. Good news, Curtis. I might be getting my driver's license back. My dream car on top of that. So awesome. Oh, Spaz Kid wants a Tesla. So whenever somebody says dream car, it just makes me think of it. He wants a Tesla so goddamn bad. When he graduates from school, we're going to have to see what we can do about maybe getting him set up in one. Willie says, when I get random callers, I say, thanks for calling Mike's Pizzeria and Abortion Clinic, where your loss is our sauce. How can I help? Nice. Nolan says, some newspaper, in quotes, tried to claim it was illegal to chant fuck Joe Biden. A newspaper would do that. Supposedly the protectors of the First Amendment? Great. Interesting how that was never published for the fuck Donald Trump days. And fascinating that a newspaper would try and bring any type of free speech under the guise of being under the umbrella of illegality. I don't know how they're making that reach, but I can guarantee you chanting fuck Joe Biden is not against the law. Jesus Christ. Philip says, I'm starting to think Trudeau was a narcissist, would explain his being a pathological liar and his overdeveloped sense of his own popularity. Well, that's true. I mean, Philip, that's what I agree with you. I've said all along, you guys have heard me say it, that's what took Trump down, his narcissism. If Trump wasn't an egomaniac, I honestly believe he'd still be president. It's ego is the great motivator in most all of the dumb things Trump did or said. Xander says, Curtis, how many planes does it take to knock down a skyscraper? Oh. Masag says, so you Americans have a license for auto and manual. We just go for tests at 6 p.m. and get our license in 5 minutes of driving a moving trash can. No, Masag, what that means is what Rosa got, a CDL license isn't necessary for the transmission. It's just for commercial vehicles, so high weight vehicles. And a Class B, I've forgotten exactly the tonnage. I think it's up to 26,000 pounds, up to 13 tons. And then Class A is anything above that. So like tractor trailers have to have a Class A. And for instance, if you're driving a bus, you have to have the Class B because of the weight, and then a Class P or passenger endorsement. Because for forever, each state individually made the guidelines about what commercial drivers had to have for licensing. And then many years ago, they switched that and said, okay, since commercial drivers tend to cross state lines anyway, let's make it a federal license. So hopefully that explains it. Yeah, it's not necessarily the transmission. It's just it's that you're driving commercially. And now to have a CDL license, if you have a CDL license, you have to be in a drug and alcohol pool if you're employed using it. So if your employer requires you to have, or your employment requires you to have that CDL, then you have to be in a drug and alcohol pool. Masag says, so basically she can drive mini trucks. No, she can drive anything now. She's got the Class A. Rosa initially got her Class B, and now she can drive tractor trailers. She can drive pretty much with that Class A. You can drive anything, depending on what endorsement you have with it. You can drive anything as far as size goes. You have to have an endorsement, like if it's hazardous materials and stuff like that. Andrew says it was LA Times that said that. Article said chanting fudge Joe Biden may be illegal. I think they removed it since. Can you imagine that? That our supposed journalists have so entrenched themselves in political camps that they want to write stories about how free speech shouldn't be free. Free speech should be illegal. That tells you where we are right now. My dream car is a Pontiac Laurentian. I love Pontiacs. It's Canadian built. I was gonna say I've never heard of that one. I love Pontiacs, Philip. I had so many in my life, and they were all champs. A Canadian built version of the Pontiac Catalina from the late 1950s. I like old cars that got a lot more style than what they're passing off as cars nowadays. Yeah, and a lot of steel. Yep, Philip. And that was back in the day, like when my first car I owned was a 66 Chevy Impala, 8 cylinders. And you could change all 8 spark plugs yourself and barely bend over at the waist doing it. You could do almost anything but major maintenance or repair you could do yourself in your driveway because of the way things were engineered and everything. Not no more. But Pontiacs, yeah. I don't blame you there at all. I had such good luck with Pontiacs. Andrew says, I thought we were talking about Rosa Parks. No, our cutie Rosa. Excuse me. Oh, wow. No, I don't have it anymore, Johnny. He says, Curtis, if you have DirecTV, you need to check your email because they gave out the $400 NFL Sunday ticket for free to some subscribers. I got rid of it. They pissed me off. I was having all sorts of issues with them, so I finally told them they got to go. And I have YouTube TV. But I never ordered the Sunday ticket because I'm a Cowboys fan. But more important than that, I'm a bigger college football fan than NFL. So it was never worth the money to me. I always said if they'd made the games a la carte, though, I would have spent money on it. I just don't understand their logic. So basically, they make it $400 for a whole season. I'm like, fuck you, I'm not paying that. There's only a few games that I'd be interested in that I can't get anyway. Or I've heard that you can go online and there are streams where you can watch them anyway. But if they had a la carte option as well, and it was like $20 for a game, I'd pay that here and there when I want to see a game. So instead of getting some money from me, they got none. I don't understand the logic. Dragon says, true story. My mom is licensed to drive a bus and a motorcycle. On her license, it reads passenger, motorcycle, school bus in that order. You do the math. That's good. Oh, that's cool. Your mom's out there. Your mom's bebopping along in pretty much whatever she wants. I like that. Mr. Croissant says bullying is never addressed in the Omaha school systems. That's unfortunate. Even some universities are bad. We recently had someone with sexual assault charges commit yet another one at University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Jesus Christ. I will say that here, our schools, at least here in upstate New York, are very, very much on top of that. Bullying is not allowed, and it's taken seriously, which is fortunate, because you guys know how I feel about bullies. Philip says, apparently there's going to be a 5-day delay on the counting after the election. That reeks of election rigging by the Trudeau government. Yeah, that doesn't sound skosh at all. I got an email from the party I'm voting for looking for volunteers to scrutinize. I don't know what. Same thing that's going on in America. Even where there isn't any evidence of rampant voter fraud, they want to keep doing too many things that would make voter fraud possible. I just don't buy the fact that now the one thing I am 100% against is the closing down of balloting places. I think you should have as many places open as is entirely possible. That should be the main focus. But I just don't buy that, oh, I can't get to the voting booth. I can't get here. I can't get there for the vast majority of people, because if it's something they want, they can get there. It's just a matter of how motivated they are. And in the worst case scenario, we already have a system. If you know you can't get out there and vote, you've always been allowed to get an absentee ballot. To keep just trying to push it further and further because you're afraid that you, and it's all because you'll have politicians who are afraid that their voter base isn't motivated enough. So it's like, well, let's just send out ballots to everybody, because then all they have to do is fill it in and just send it back to us. That maybe they'll actually get out and vote that way. And it's just asking for issues with fraud. If somebody's not motivated to vote, who cares what party they're in? They're just not motivated to vote. Let's see. Kaiser says, how do you see me? If I'm a giant badass robot, I'm honored. Yes, giant badass robot would pretty much describe it as, because Kaiser, the thing that most stands out to me is your fandom for that genre, because we talk about it so much. So yeah, that as far as reading your screen name, that's the first thing that pops at me. Solara says, if you're a bully, stop being a pussy and fight someone your own size unless you're worried about getting your arse kicked. You're 100%, Solaris. I've always said that. There's no reason to be a bully, because I've lived a lot of places in my life in America, a lot of different regions with a lot of different breakdowns, whether it be racially or however you want to break it down. I've lived in a lot of different styles of communities. The one thing I can always say is, if you're somebody like me who liked a good fight, there's always somebody willing to fight with you. I don't care where you are, you can get in a fight with somebody who wants to fight. So if you're picking a fight with somebody who doesn't want to, you're just a pussy and you're afraid to go after the ones that do want to fight with you. I have never been a place where you can't find somebody that wants to have a good tussle. I kind of remember that. Big Green says, the stream made me remember our first stream interaction. We talked about the disappointed season from Hercules and whether or not that was legit or if you just flubbed the line. I kind of remember that, Big Green. Wow, that was a long time ago. And that came up, a lot of the reason that came up too was because my wife always thought Kevin Sorbo was gorgeous. And for those of you who don't know, there's a scene from Hercules where Kevin Sorbo says, disappointed. And disappointed was supposed to be describing how he had said the line. It wasn't supposed to be said itself. Then there were rumors that he did it just as kind of a troll or a prank. Other people said, no, it's because he's a moron and he just said the line. So I don't think we ever made I don't think anybody ever made a determination of what actually went on there. I'm Philip Stream Boss again. Philip says, here, I don't think closing it down early will be a problem. They've already gone stupid with the COVID restrictions. Long lines, only one polling station, when there's room for at least two. Yeah, and the thing of it is, especially with the, here in America as well, especially with the issues with voting and availability, come on, it's all common sense stuff. It's just one side wanting to make voting extra ridiculously convenient because they're afraid that their electorate's not that motivated to get out there, and another side wanting to feeling that their electorate is more motivated and wanting to make it difficult for people who may want to go out and vote. It's just all the same bullshit in America all the time now. Mr. Croissant says, my aunt calls Joe Biden Sloppy Joe because of how he works. I think that's clever, but it ruins the food for me. Warrior says, what is worse, being a bully or being a Karen? Oh, they're both annoying, but a bully is worse, I think. I mean, at least Karens generally don't have any real power to victimize. You know, they'll accuse people of doing things they didn't do and stuff like that, and that'll all get... The fortunate thing is nobody can be actually physically hurt by it. So I think bullies are even worse. And fortunately with Karens, a lot of times you can catch them on camera. They end up taking the brunt of being a Karen by being exposed by it, when it's not true with bullies. So I think bullies are worse. Dragon says, fun fact, I'm walking here line from Midnight Cowboy was accidental because the cab drove to the set. I think I'd read that before, Dragon. Yeah, excuse me. Sorry. Where Dustin Hoffman and what's his name? John. Oh, I've forgotten the actor's last name. I was trying to tip my tongue too. But they're walking across the street and the cab pulls out and almost hits them. And, hey, I'm walking here. I think I'd heard that, Dragon. That was improvised. What was his name, guys? It's Dustin Hoffman and John, who was also in the movie The Champ. He was in a lot of movies back in the day. I'm walking here. Yeah, Big Green. I know you guys will come up with it for me. It's driving me nuts. I can't think of his last name. Vengeful Venomoth says, hello, Curtis. Been a while since I've caught you live. Well, good. I'm glad you could be in, my friend. Krusty Bomb says, what do you call a committee of emo kids? A cutting board. Oh, that's awful. Zombie says, it's on the tip of my tongue. That's what she said. Mr. Croissant says, what's a male Karen? I think it's still a Karen. I think that covers all genders, I believe. Karen is a Karen. What is his name, you guys? That's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to have to look it up. Stupid shit like that'll bother me. Okay. Kyle. That's pretty good, actually, Tyler. Philip says, did that line once when I was in New York. Some kid in my tour group made the mistake of stepping on my heel. I'm walking here. That is a great line. It's so iconic, too. I got to look up the actor's name or it's going to drive me nuts. Hold on a second, guys. Let me look that up. Excuse me. Midnight Cowboy. Actors. John Voight. There it is. That was going to drive me insane if I didn't look it up. Stupid shit gets to me. Kaiser says, plot twist, the ones who could fight you want to talk philosophy. they could destroy you physically, but mind fucks are more fun. Good call, yes. Nacho says it's interesting how some of the most memorable lines in a series or movie are the improv ones. Agreed. That's happened a lot of times down through the years. Yeah, and it's funny how so many of them, like you say, basically become the memes that have been generated from that movie or TV series or whatever the case may be. Oh, oink. If cum is stored in the balls, how come it's leaking out of my ass? Checkmate. Okay, that was pretty good. It says, I honestly think Biden is the worst president of the previous 5. I think he's got potential to be there for me. Unfortunately, trust me, I told you guys this before the election, regardless of who I vote for, I want the president to do well. For me anyway, this president has not done well. Oh, Lix went through a traumatic event today. I'm sorry to hear that. Big Green says, remember when Heath Ledger's Joker was playing around with a detonator and got startled by the explosion? Apparently that also was in the script. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, because he's got that great reaction he has to it. Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. I've heard that one, Ernesto. Why did the bike fall over? Because it was too tired. Lix says, I don't want French hugs. Lix. Rosa says, it's time to talk about football upsets. Club Bruges, worth about 175 million, managed to draw PSG this weekend. PSG is worth nearly 25 times more. They host some of the best players in the world, including Messi. Yikes. That sounds like a squash coming up. Tsunami says Mac did little nuances like dummy snap counts that got the defense to move up or back to see if they were blitzing or not. He looked like a vet out there. He's going to be far better in Fields, in my opinion. I think Mac Jones is a very intelligent quarterback. I don't think there's ever been a doubt about that. I just don't know that I will. And again, I could be wrong. I will rate him better than Fields just based on physical skills. I think if Justin Fields gets into a system where they build the system around him, I think he's going to be a really, really dangerous guy. As far as Mac Jones being a smart quarterback, absolutely. His football IQ is nuts. Dragon, what do you call a blind German? A Nazi. Reaper says my NFL team doesn't know what a Super Bowl is. LOL Chargers. I tell you, Reaper, they got with Herbert there. They got a pretty good team. We'll find out a lot more about. They play my team this week. Find out a lot more about them. Because granted, the Cowboys defense, especially now with Lawrence out, the Cowboys defense is at best, but their offense is lights out. So if they can hang with the Cowboys, if they can beat the Cowboys to go to 2-0, gotta give them respect. Do the Bengals still exist? Nolan says, yeah, kind of. Well, you got Joe Burrow there now, though, Nolan. So at least things are starting to look up. Joe Burrow's got the goods as well. There's a lot of really good young quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Really good. Indo says, how do you think the Saints are going to do this year? If they're beat down to the Packers is any indication, great. I like Jameis. I think Jameis Winston has had tons of potential, and I think that's a good situation for him. So, I mean, I'm not gonna. Oh, it's nothing important. I'm not going to call the Saints a Super Bowl team, but I think they have playoff potential. Ando says, I'd have a good time with Mac. I mean, we go get a beer. Yeah, like I say, he's an extremely smart quarterback. I did hear about Norm Macdonald passing, going nowhere. I love Norm Macdonald. I thought his sense of humor was just so. I told you guys, he was fearless. He just did not give a fuck. The times I've seen him do that, where he would go on stage and intentionally tell stupid, terrible jokes and really sell it like it was his act. It was so uncomfortable. And then eventually the audience would start to get it and start laughing along. But I mean, the guy was had balls of steel as a comedian. Johnny says, Fields' ceiling is Steve Young, I think, which isn't bad. I think that's an excellent, yeah. I think that's an excellent equation. I agree, Johnny. Yeah, not bad at all. Steve Young tortured my Cowboys for years. Yep, right. A right-handed Steve Young. I think that's a real good analogy. All right, guys. Well, I gotta go. I like this before we go though, because we did lose one of ours, and I appreciate everybody with the RIPs and everything. For any of you who just came in, we just got word that Tall Lewis Newcastle had passed away. And again, Lewis was somebody who's been with us for many, many years. I believe he came to the channel in late 2011, and we started it in May of 2011. And again, for anybody that just came in, he was an excellent, as a youngster, an elite level soccer/football player. And he ended up getting hit by a bus, destroyed his career. He had to, him and I used to talk about how he'd be flying, I think it was Rochester or Cleveland, I've forgotten which. He used to be flying in here to the States to get his surgeries done and stuff like that. So just to take a moment, I know we're on a delay. If everybody just wants to, the easiest thing is to just put an F in the chat or something, just to have, this will go up to the channel, and just have something to memorialize Lewis and the fact that we lost somebody who is truly one of us and has been for a long time. So I'm going to let the chat run for that for a minute. And yeah, it's really sad too, because again, he had just shown up again. You know, Lewis would come in and out. You know, he was growing into a young man, and life has its own responsibilities. He would be away here or there, and he had just started coming back into the streams again. Saw him in the stream, saw him in the chat. Tommy's going to give me some more details via direct message, but he was a good dude. And trust me when I tell you, he Lewis was the kind of guy who just, at least in his relationship with me, you would never know he was going through the things he was going through if he didn't tell you, because he was always upbeat, always funny, always having a good time, and liked hanging out here because he liked to laugh like all of us do. So thank you guys for that. And Lewis, we will miss you, brother. We really will. I was so happy to see you back again recently. And again, you guys know that my belief system is not one of a religious nature, but whatever is next, if there is something next, I hope it's nothing but the best for you, Lewis. And that's not going to stop us from dispersing sticky stuff, because I can guarantee you, absolutely 100% without a question, without a shadow of a doubt, guarantee you that Lewis would not want the sticky stuff to not be dispersed on his behalf. So this is not only going to be Free for All Friday quality sticky stuff, this is going to be the best possible high grade sticky stuff I can create in honor of our friend Lewis. So get out those official sticky stuff fanny packs, because you're going to want to keep some of this. And even years from now, when you go back in and you check that sticky stuff that you kept in the fanny pack, because it stays fresh forever, it's quality stuff, you're going to go, wow, that was the Lewis inspired stuff. That was some good shit. Here it comes. Pompu, pompu. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. Because we'll bang, okay? Flash you like buggy. And as always, most importantly, and what's most important, in honor of our good pal Lewis. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh. I'll see you again, brother.